All right, all right. So we today are talking about doTERRA's compensation plan. How do we get paid with doTERRA? And I like to talk about how we can maximize the compensation plan. But I always like to start this conversation out with some real talks. I hope you guys are ready for it. Just the real and the raw is kind of how I roll. doTERRA's compensation plan is intricate. That's the word that I would use. Um, Understanding it, really taking the time to study the compensation plan is critical and key to your success as a leader. So I just want you to look at the statistics within doTERRA. So 50% of doTERRA's wellness advocates, this was from 2023, 50% earn more than $319 a month. The top 10 earn over $1,200 a month. The top 1% earn over $9,000 a month, right? So we see we have 81% of our wellness advocates are premier or below. And that's cool, right? You're getting your products paid for. But when you're trying to build a business, which is probably why you're here, you're looking for lifelong residual income, right? How vested is your builder if they're making $300 a month? How vested are they in this business, right? And so when you understand the compensation plan and when you understand how to teach it and you make sure your team understands the compensation plan, what you'll find is that you will make more. I can guarantee you that the people in the top 1%, they can talk compensation in their sleep. So kudos to you for being here to learn more about it. And I just really want to encourage you to tune in, take really good notes. And we're recording this because this is something that you are going to have to listen to, likely, unless you just are like, your brain is super fast. You're probably gonna have to listen to this and walk through this multiple times until you fully understand it, right? The other thing that I want you to think about when it comes to the comp plan and just how you build your business in doTERRA, if you are one that is really trying to make the most amount of money, think about it like a chess game, okay? Okay, I want you to hear me out when I say this. Every single move you make in doTERRA, I'm talking every single person you sell an oil to, every new builder you sign up, every affiliate, it doesn't matter. Every move you make in doTERRA, you need to be thinking 5 moves ahead, okay? And you can't really do that unless you understand the compensation plan. So I just want you to put this image somewhere, maybe get a better version of it, put it somewhere so that you can really look at your business like a game of chess. When we get to the end of the presentation, you're gonna understand why I'm saying that a little bit better. All right, so let's get into the basics. Are you ready? For some of you, this is an overview. I know we have lots of different people from different places within within their time with doTERRA. So if these are basics for you, then this is gonna be a nice little review. First and foremost, please, my friends, know your acronyms. I cannot tell you how many people lose money just because they don't know the differences in these acronyms. There are 3 acronyms you need to know like the back of your hand. OV is your organizational volume. That's everything that's happening from your own account and everything that's underneath you. That's the total, complete organizational volume. All right, that's organizational volume. PV is your personal volume. These are any orders that are placed on your personal account. I don't care if it's for your mama, your cousin, your sister, any orders that are on your personal account, that is your PV, your personal volume. TV should not be confused with total volume. It's not, it's team volume. Team volume. And team volume includes you and the people who sit on your front line, whether they are customers or builders or affiliates, whatever. Okay, so your team volume is right here on you and your front line. What's the volume collectively there? Organizational volume is your PV, your TV, all of it, everything that's happening below you. Then your PV is your personal volume. All right. This matters, especially when it comes to power of 3. So if you don't know this, what I want you to do is write it down. It's actually quite easy thing to learn. Write it down. Make sure it's like up in your office so that you see it often. All right. Another basic, but we're going to hit it just in case. You can't get no money in doTERRA unless you have an 100 PV LRP template at all times. Always, 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 always have that pending. That's what I think it's just a good habit to always have it pending. So even if you place a 500 PV order, and then you are moving some things around, like it's a dangerous place to be. Make sure you always have a minimum of 100 PV in there so that you can get paid. Now, let me give you a pro tip. If you want to maximize the compensation plan, specifically Power 3, you'll place a 150 PV order. We'll talk about that, why that would be in a while. And it would behoove you to train anybody that you bring on to do the same thing, and you'll be getting your $1,500 bonus like really fast. All right. So those are some of the basics. Now, this slide here, you are likely all familiar with. This is probably what got you interested in the business. You saw this, you saw these numbers, you were like, oh wow, like this, let's do it. Let's do it, right? These are the ranks that doTERRA has. And I want to walk you through them very briefly before we dig into strategy. All right, so I think it's important that you guys know. Now, hopefully you know, there are ranks that come before elite, but elite is what our foundational rank is. So we will start there. Now, you may want to be compelled to snap pictures of these slides, but just you can if you want, but just know we'll share the presentation so that you can have access to this. And the statistics and the numbers here, they might be a little bit dated. So just keep that in mind. This came from a book from a few years ago. All right, so let's start with the rank of elite. Elite is our foundational rank. It is relatively the easiest rank to hit. There is no structure, no strategy, simply sales. Okay? We don't have to think very strategically when it comes to elite, because we don't really have to have a team in order to hit elite. We have to have 3,000 in volume. Organizational volume. 3,000 in OV is what it takes to hit elite. And this is really in the rank scale, this is really the only rank where strategy is not required. All right. When you first hit this rank, you're averaging anywhere from $300 to $800 a month. The average income for a steady elite is about $350 a month. All right. Next up, Premier. Premier is where we start to look at our business strategically. Okay. In order for you to hit the rank of Premier, you must have, first of all, at least 5,000 in organizational volume in OV. However, you must have 2,000 in one leg and 2,000 in another leg. Strategically placed volume. So in theory, you could have 10,000 OV. But if 9,000 is in one leg, you got like one super leg over here and 1,000 in another leg, guess what rank you are? You are elite. Right? So it has to be strategically placed. So Premier is 5K organizational volume, 2K in either leg. That gets you to the rank of elite. You're making on average about $876 at the rank of Premier, excuse me. But when you first get to the rank, you're making anywhere from $600 to $1,000. Okay, you're gonna see what happens. You can pay attention to how much time is spent, all of that, when you kind of go back and study this. But you'll see what happens to these numbers as we continue to go up. All right, Premier is the last rank where we're talking OV. We don't really talk OV over beyond Premier, because now we speak the language of ranks. When you hit silver, we are very rank focused. All right. You are the rank of silver when you have 3 elites on your front line. 3 elites strategically placed on your front line in your organization. That gets you to the rank of silver. Silvers make on average about $2,300 a month. When you first hit the rank, you're making about $1,200. Okay, this is the rank of silver. Foundational ranks of elite is what makes up a silver. You guys with me? Let's go up. And here we are to gold. A gold is 3 premiers on your front line, strategically placed volume to get you to the rank of gold. Golds make about $5,000 a month on average. When you first hit the rank, you're making about $3,500 a month. That is the rank of gold. Want to go up? Let's go up. Platinum. Platinum is 3 silvers, right? Platinum is 9 elites. See how that works? So again, we're speaking the language of ranks. Platinums make about $9,600 on average once you have a solid platinum organization. When you first hit that rank, you're making about $6,000 a month. All right? And then we have the coveted diamond. Diamonds are 4 silver legs on your front line. 4 silver leaders, which is 12 elites. Okay? Diamonds make, when they first hit the rank, about $8,500, and an average solid diamond organization is about $17,000 a month. It's worth it, I think, the years it takes to build to that. Yeah? Let's go up one more. Blue diamond is 5 golds. Right? Do you see why rank gets more important when we speak in rank as you get higher in organization? So Blue Diamonds has 5 gold sitting on the front line. Blue Diamonds make about $22,000 when they first, and this is monthly, when they first hit the rank, and a solid Blue Diamond organization is about $38,000 monthly. I will tell you that I have spoken to, obviously golds, platinums, diamonds, blue diamonds, and presidentials recently, and these numbers are still around the same average. Okay, that is Blue Diamond. And the top rank within doTERRA's comp plan is Presidential Diamond. So Presidential Diamond is 6 platinums on your front line. I'm saying your front line. It's actually anywhere in your organization strategically placed, but they have to be six separate legs. And that's all the way down. Just has to be 6 separate legs. It can be lower in your org. Doesn't have to be on your front line. All right. Presidential diamonds make about $60,000 monthly when they first hit the rank, and they average out about $100,000 monthly for a solid presidential diamond organization. All right. So that is the top rank. And here's a beautiful thing about doTERRA is once you hit presidential diamond, you can do it again and again and again and again and again. You can do it there's no cap on your income. This is why doTERRA's comp plan is so amazing, because this just doesn't happen. There's no cap on your earnings. If you want to go presidential 5, 6, 7, 8 times, if you got the energy to do that, may the force be with you. You can do it, right? And so it's called an M account. I think it's called an M1 and M2, etc., which basically means you just get another leg and then you build underneath it. So you can see how your money just continues to increase. All right. So that is a very quick overview of the ranks that make up the compensation plan. Okay, so now how are we actually making money? Right, we know the ranks, but how are we actually making money? Well, there are 4 primary ways to get paid. Emphasis on the word primary, because there are other ways that you can get paid in doTERRA. We know this, but when you are building a business, there are 4 primary ways that we make money. We make money by attracting new customers, retaining said customers, getting those customers on a loyalty reward program, and introducing the business to those customers. All right, so we're gonna dig into each of those. One of the most beautiful things that I have recently learned about doTERRA's compensation plan is that each of the bonuses are attached to a quality. that doTERRA wants their leaders to embody. And I think it's so beautiful. And having worked through some of these bonuses, I would agree that that is what happens when you are building a business with doTERRA. So the first bonus is called our Fast Start bonus. doTERRA is paying you for being brave, right? You're out there, you're just getting started, you're introducing oils to people. It's scary, right? You're doing something new. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. doTERRA pays you for being brave. The way the Fast Start bonus works, this is a weekly bonus. It's paid out weekly. You enroll someone today, you'll receive that payment next Thursday. This is the way that works, is when it commissions runs. And you're going to get paid. If you enroll someone, you will get 20% of the volume of that person's PV. You'll get 20% back for the first 60 days that the customer is with you. If you enroll someone who then enrolls someone, they'll get 20% and you will get 10%. And if that new person enrolls someone, right, they will get 20, their enroller will get 10, and you will get 5. All right. So if Monetta enrolls Joanne, and Joanne, I'm not even going to do it because I always get mixed up when I do it, but it's 20, 10, 5. You're getting paid 3 levels down for the Fast Start. That is for the first 60 days that someone is with you. Okay, that someone is a customer, any orders they place, then the first 60 days. So what happens on day 61? Well, they go into a different bonus pool, and this is called Unilevel. And Unilevel, doTERRA is paying you here for persevering. Why do we say that? Well, when you first started with doTERRA, or maybe you're just starting, your Unilevel is probably like $2. It's small, right? It starts out small, but if you can stick with this thing, y'all, if you can stick with this thing, your bonus, your Unilevel bonus makes up the bulk of your check. Right? It's a beautiful thing what happens, what residual income actually is. Unilevel can get a little tricky. We will not go into depth about Unilevel tonight, but just know you're getting paid 7 levels deep within your organization, depending on your rank. And doTERRA is paying you the most where the most volume is. Okay, so the deeper your organization is where you have the most customers, and that is where doTERRA pays you the most. Most compensation plans for multi-level marketing is the opposite, right? doTERRA is doing it completely different. And the beautiful thing, when you're recruiting people and you're introducing people to doTERRA, remind them we've got like a 65% retention rate, which means these people down here are ordering, so those checks get bigger and bigger. Right? Okay, so level 1, the people on your front line, you're getting 2%, but guess what? It's like 3 people. You know, it's not a lot of people on that front line, particularly when you first start out. Level 2, you get 3% off of the volume of that level. Level 3 is 5. Level 3 and 4 is 5. Level 5 and 6 is 6%, and that 7th level is 7%. Now, okay. Remember how we said we're playing chess? Every move we make, we're looking 5 moves ahead. So when you go to start placing customers, you want to be aware of where you're placing them in the organization and how much money you're making off of them, right? And also, too, I want you to look at this. To unlock the full compensation plan for the Unilevel bonus, you got to be a silver or above. That's going to unlock the full Unilevel bonus. And if you are not silver and above, and you have your organization is deep, then what will happen is it's called dynamic compression. I encourage you to do some research on that on your own. Once you get to the rank of silver, I didn't touch it until I hit silver so that I could understand. Dynamic compression just means that money, if you're not silver, the next silver up will get it. Okay, so they make sure that we're getting paid for all of our hard work. All right, so it's 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. That's how our Unilevel bonus happens. And our customers go into Unilevel once they have on day 61. 7% it's not a lot of money when you're thinking like, oh, I've got like 10 customers or 20 customers. 7% of that volume is not that high. But let me tell you, when you got 100 customers on that 7th level or 500 customers on that 7th level, right? So this is where residual income comes in and where this part of the bonus really gets hefty. All right. So you stick in there, you persevere, you gonna cash out. All right, number 3 is why most of you are here, is the power of 3. Power of 3 bonus, and we will come back to this, but I just want to hit it really quick. Power of 3 bonus, you are paid for working as a team. That's what doTERRA is trying to achieve. So I want to say that because can you build power of 3 bonus on your own? Yes, you can. It is substantially easier when you're working as a team. It's substantially easier, it's faster, it's less stress, and it's more sustainable when you do this with your people. So just, I want you to just really sit with that as you're building. Sometimes we have to do some things to make it happen, but just, we want to be working as a team. That is how the compensation plan is designed. All right, there are 3 levels of power of 3 that you can be eligible for on a given month. All right, it's a $50 power of 3. It is a $250 power of 3, or it is a $1,500 power of 3. The simple way to learn, understand power of 3 is to focus only on the $50 power of 3. If you can explain to someone, your team, anybody that's interested in the business, how to get their $50 power of 3, you will go far, far, far in doTERRA, because it's so simple. 3 things need to happen. Are you ready? Write it down. 3 things need to happen for a person to get their $50 power of 3. Are you ready? Number 1, that person must place, this person here must place at least a 100 PV LRP order. Number 2, at least 3 people on their front line, right, on their team, must also place a minimum of at least 100 PV LRP order. All right. And collectively as a team, your team volume, not to be confused with your total volume, your team volume must be 600 in volume, 600 TV. So that means you, these 3 people on your front line, and anybody else that's sitting on your front line, all of that volume together must equal at least 600. And when you have done all those things, you, this person here, has just received a $50 power of 3. Pretty simple, yeah? Pretty simple. Just 3 things need to happen. Let me make it even easier for you. So what happens, somebody get ready to chime in the chat, because I'm going to do some quick math. What happens if I place my 100 PV and these 3 people place their 100 PV? How much volume do we have? What's our TV? If these are the only 3 people on my front line. What is our TV if we all place a 100 in PV order? 400 PV. So do we have our $50 power of 3? We do not. Why not? What are we missing? No, Lorraine says, right. What are we missing? 200 PV. 200 PV is missing. So what would happen, do some math, if each of these people, because you're working as a team, if each of these people place a 150 PV order? Did we get it? Did we lock it in? You're good to go, right? So that's why we say 100 PV is minimum, but if you can do 150 PV, do it and train everybody that you can to do that, because now you've just gotten your $50 power of 3. And then these 3 people that you're working together with as a team, they go and do the same thing. They go find their 3 people, they explain the 150 LRP, and all those 3 people do it. Then guess what you have? Your $250 power of 3. And then those 3 people that were recruited, They go out and find their 3 people, and you see what you're doing. You're just duplicating the $50 power of 3 all the way down. You're going 3 levels down, and that is what gets you the 1,500 power of 3. Okay, that's how it's supposed to go. We don't always do it like that, but that's how it's supposed to go. So when we're thinking about like how to maximize the compensation plan, do yourself a favor and really try to work as a team. It makes this entire process so much easier. It takes the stress out of your business. You are multiplying versus addition. Multiplication is just fast addition. So you're able to hit these ranks, hit these goals, get these bonuses so much faster when you're doing this with your team. All right, there is a power of 3 tracker that helps us to track this. When I started, actually, you remember them days? Oh, it was manual. It was a hot mess express. This new tracker is amazing. And if we have time at the end, if you guys want to like go in there and play around, I think I have this attached to the Harry Potter account. We can show you how to set up your power of 3 tracker, because let me tell you, if your power of 3 tracker is not set up, the likelihood of you getting your power of 3 bonus and getting beyond like the $50 is probably going to be pretty low, because you got to visualize it. You got to see what you're working with so that you are able to then make those moves. Yeah, we'll come back to it. And last but not least, the 4th way that we make money with doTERRA is our leadership bonuses. They pay you for being resilient. Because let me tell you, as you start to rise the ranks in doTERRA, you're going to get knocked down multiple times. You're going to lose builders. You're going to lose your mind. It's going to be stressful. But if you can stick with it and rise in rank, that's when the big dollars come, right? That's when those $100,000 a month comes, you know, the $30,000 a month. That's where the big money comes. It's from being resilient. So what I'm going to tell you about the leadership bonus. Now, I believe the best way to fully understand the leadership bonuses is to hit these ranks and really check your check. So there is if we have time, like I said, we'll go back and look. I think this is connected to Harry Potter's account. I can't remember. Harry Potter is a fake account that we have that we can go in and use as a demo. But you have a tab in your back office that will allow you, it literally breaks down every dollar that comes in your check. It tells you exactly how much money you're making and from whom. It'll tell you Joe Blow on your 6th level, you made $20 for his purchase this month. It literally breaks it down like that. I think that's really the best way to fully understand the leadership bonuses, because you can see it breaks it down. It's very clear what your bonus is, and then you have an idea of how much they tend to average. So what I can tell you about doTERRA, I think this is like brilliant business model. What they do is they have pools, right? So they pool a percentage of the sales across the company into a pool, and then if you qualify for the rank in a given month, then you get a percentage of that pool. Okay, so that's essentially how that works. Now I want to just pause and say that's why we do stuff like this, because your success is my success and vice versa, right? We all need to be working together because we need the pools to be as high as they can be. My checks get higher. That's how it works. Founder or no founder, you rank premier or above, you're getting a piece of what's happening across the company. So we need to be supportive of one another. Oh, wait, I'm getting on a, let me come off the soapbox. But that's why we do stuff like this. That's why we support everybody. It's hashtag Team doTERRA. And if you can stick with it and rise in the ranks, you will be paid for being resilient. All right. I can tell you that if you're going to be at leadership, I think we're going to see a much better, easier to understand version of this. So stay tuned. We'll go further there. All right. Those are the basics. You guys with me? Give me some feedback. Say it. Give me some feedback in the chat. What were those basics for you? Did you already know all these things? Was this a good reminder? Like, give me some feedback. Okay, got some thumbs up. Yeah, okay, we'll just keep going in the interest of time. All right, let's talk strategy. Strategy is my number 2 strength. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so we're gonna real talk one more time. One more time. Is it Ashley? I love it. One more time, we're just gonna real talk. First of all, I want to say this. This is your business. This is your business. You build it and you get help from other people, right? And that's why it's good that you're here, because you need to understand how to get paid in doTERRA. You don't need to be relying on your upline, because this is a lot and they may do their best to tell you and they still may mess something up or forget something. You need to understand this for yourself. doTERRA's business model, as I mentioned, it's intricate. Give it time. Give it some time for you to understand it. I want you to study it like you're going to be tested on it. Because guess what? If you try to make the money with doTERRA, you will be tested on it. Okay, let me calm down. All right, so study it. Really spend some time with this, all right? If you want to rise in rank in doTERRA, your brain has to shift, if it hasn't already, from employee to an entrepreneur, right? From manager to mentor. It's everybody has their own business, and it works. It's proven. This business model works. If it ain't working for you, then we need to really figure out why. It's usually 2 things: technique and tenacity. You ain't doing it right and you gave up too soon. Okay, that's another class for today. This business works. If you work it, let's get it. The basics of this business is pipes. That's the structure of our business. We can dismiss pipes. I don't know if people are dismissing pipes out there, but if your business is not working, if you are not making money with doTERRA, the pipe ain't right. There's some place in here that is broken. And so okay, good. Lorraine's like, no, pipes is a must. Yes. So I'm going to really encourage you to be honest with yourself, really be honest and reflective with yourself, and look at all 5 of these aspects of pipes to see where you might need to spend a little bit more time or a little less time. Yeah. So we prepare, we invite, we present, we enroll, we support. Perhaps that's another training to dig into, like some practical ways that we can really pipe it out. But it all comes back down to pipe. We don't want no leaks in our pipes. No, we need the things to be solid and strong. All right. So pipes is what it is. Once you kind of understand pipes, now we need to really build a strong, solid foundation. And that begins with elite. Okay? Your mission, if you choose to accept it, you need to learn how to reach and teach elite. If you haven't hit elite yourself and you're not maintaining elite or beyond, you need to figure out how to reach it and to maintain it and exceed it. And then you need to teach it to other people, because that is the key to success in doTERRA, is elite. And when you look at it like that, it's pretty simple, right? Because elite is no strategy, no structure, strictly sales. All right? 3 elites equal a silver, 9 elites equal a platinum, 12 elites equal a diamond, 54 elites strategically placed in your organization gets you $100,000 check every month as a presidential diamond. You need to learn how to hit the rank of elite, right? And teach other people to do it. It's a beautiful thing. It's very, very simple. But when you are building I believe you should be building for rank and power of 3. It's how do we place those elites that we have in our organization? We have to strategically place them. We're thinking 5 steps ahead to strategically place these elites in our organization so that we can maximize this compensation plan. So you're looking for people that you can train to hit the rank of elite at a minimum. Okay? So once you have them, we need to make sure we are structured for success. Okay. Say it again. We need to make sure that we are structured for success. So whoever the person was that asked about how do you get your 3rd level power of 3 in the group, it's this right here. It's building your business properly. It's structuring for success. It's working as a team. It's understanding the compensation plan. It all works together, right? So in my opinion, that's the second thing you need to understand is how to teach people how to reach and teach elite, and also how to teach people how to structure their organization properly. So the proper structure of an organization, this is, ideal. You at the top, your top 3 on your front line, and your next 9. Okay? You, top 3, next 9, and then guess what? All your customers go here or lower. But when you're first starting out and you're first building, when you're building for your 1500 power of 3, my recommendation, load your customers up on that 3rd level. Load them up. Put your business partners, your committed and capable leaders, the ones that are like, let's do this. Let me roll up my sleeves. Let me get in there with you. They go on your front line. People who are committed or capable go on your second line, or your top 3 people go out and find their committed and capable builders. That's how it should be. Don't always work like that, right? So you've got those first 2 levels are critical components of your organizational structure, right? This will make or break your check. So you need to choose wisely and maybe consider contracts. Okay, then all of your customers go on that 3rd level. This is how we structure for power of 3. And guess what? It also structures you for silver and beyond. It's very smart to do it together. You guys with me? Let's look at it again. This is what it looks like. You at the top, your committed and capable, 3 committed and capable leaders on your front line. And then if you are recruiting the way that you should be, you can put your committed or capable leaders on that 2nd level. Or your CCs go and find their own CCs, which is ideal. And then your product users go all there on your 3rd level. So what you're looking at right here is power of 3. That is the structure for power of 3. And if you go and you recruit like this, you will get your power of 3 in no time. In no time. Just remember, power of 3 is paid by working as a team. If you are trying to do it by yourself, which I did, I don't recommend it. We gotta do what we gotta do, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, work together as a team. A couple of things about placements. I want to give you just a few placement tips to maybe alleviate some of the concern. I don't know if there's concern around placements. Again, every single placement matters. Every time you enroll a person, don't you leave that person on your front line unless they are a strong, committed, and capable leader, and you have a strategy for leaving them on your front line. Make sure you know where to go. If you don't know, talk to your upline. Have some strategy sessions with your upline. Tap into corporate. Ask one of us. But don't leave, whatever you do, don't leave on your front line. Don't do that, okay? All right, this is what I tell my team all the time. This is my own mantra. You know your goals, you'll know your holes. If you are going into months blind, you ain't got no, you don't know, you just like, I don't know what, you're just not doing the business. You're going into months without a goal. Then when you enroll someone, you don't know where they need to go because you just out here, rolling blind. But when you're very clear about what you're trying to do with doTERRA, when you have a plan for doTERRA, whether it's something you're trying to implement immediately, you're reaching for a goal quickly, or you're just kind of like, oh, I'm going to strategically build slowly, that's still a plan. You need to know the goal, and then you need to know where your holes are so you know where to place people. Okay, so I think what happens a lot of times is people get stuck on the front line because it's like, I don't really know where to place them. Well, if you are in tune with what's going on in your downline and what you're trying to build, if you know that you're building this and you know that you only have one committed and capable builder here, the next time you go and recruit somebody, you know where they go. You know your goals, you'll know your holes. All right, so pay attention to that. Thank the Lord, you now have until the 10th of the following month to place a new enrollee. It used to be 14 days, y'all. Y'all have 14 days to make a decision. Now we can actually close the month and see how the chips fall within our organization. And then we can be so much more strategic about where and how we place our customers. Y'all, other MLMs are not offering this level of flexibility to where you can move things around, and they're not changing their compensation plan to make it easier for their teams to do it. Yes, Lorraine says you may have to test the person. Yes, we can talk about that here in a minute. We talk about like some specific strategies. So you have until the 10th of each month to place those new people. If you don't know how to do that, make sure you review the sponsor change process, because that's what that is. It's a sponsor change. And set a reminder in your phone for the 9th of every month. Check new enrollees. Where are we placing these people? And make sure you move them in enough time. Now, this is ideal, right? Actually, ideal would be C, committed and capable, C and C all across here. But it don't always work out like that, right? Especially if you're building fast, right? So what you need to know, and what I'm sharing with you guys today, all of this is how I do it. Everybody does it their own way. So some leaders are like, I don't believe in placeholders. I believe in them. Placeholders are an option. You are trying to set up this structure right here. And sometimes it takes a while before you find the right person. I am so picky about who's sitting up here on the front line. And so should you. You should be very picky about who's sitting up here on your front line. And so if I wanted to build my structure, I was trying to build for 1,500 power of 3, and I needed to do it fast. So I did placeholders, or some may call them ghost legs, where you put someone in there who has no interest in working the business, just so that you can create the structure, right? And then you can go and recruit and find someone to take that spot. And I have a lot of tips around this, because this is how I've built my business, of having to go and refill those spots. So we can talk about that later if you have questions. But all I will tell you is, if you go the route of placeholders, you need to be very clear with whomever you're bringing in there, because when you start building this, they're gonna start making money, and when they ain't doing nothing, sometimes they're not even placing an order, right? So when people make money and they haven't done anything to make that money, sometimes there's a sense of entitlement that comes with it. And now you found a real builder who can come into the spot and take it to the next level. And now you're having to argue with someone or debate with someone it gets messy. Have an open and honest conversation. I have a contract, a very clear, friendly, I call it an agreement, that they sign. I'm very, very clear, in no uncertain terms. I am recruiting, and I need you to hold this spot for me. But I'm also careful about who I put in those spots. Like, not someone who I think may want to do this later, and also like someone who I know, love, and trust. All right. The last thing that I want to leave you with is this. Okay, guys, are you ready for it? Builders come and builders go. Okay? And sometimes they come back, and then sometimes they leave again. Don't bank on nobody else but you. If you lose a leader, if you lose a leg, guess what we do? We rebuild. We rebuild. That's what we do. There was 1 month in my founder's push where my 1,500 power 3 was in jeopardy, and I always get that. For 2 years, I've gotten my 1,500 on play with that bonus. It was in jeopardy because someone was not placing an order, and they did not want me to get into their account to place an order. That's the only time that's ever happened to me. And guess what we did in less than 24 hours? We built a whole nother leg and brought in 1,000 PV and closed it. I was not playing no games. So you got this. You got this. There's a lot more flexibility with doTERRA's compensation plan than there are other ones. I will just say, don't spend a lot of energy worrying about what other people are doing or not doing. If you want it, you go get it. You go find somebody else. You go build it again. It's plenty of people out there. Trust me. Okay. See, I get real worked up when I talk about this. And last but not least, there is life after placement errors. We have all made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. Most of those mistakes are fixable. Develop a really good relationship with your, if you're silver above, with corporate, with your account manager. You can work through almost anything. Okay, guys, we gave you the basics. We gave you a little bit of strategy. We got 9 minutes, and I'll stick around a little bit longer to answer any specific questions that you guys may have. Yeah, we do it. We do it. I'm gonna stop the share, open it up. Questions, comments, concerns, doubts. Let's hear it. Did you, was that helpful? Were you following?
Excellent presentation. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. No questions? Joanne. Oh.
Yeah, my question is, starting the business, like I started a while ago, and I have this ridiculously long, because there was no one but me.
You have
And
a
there was
ridiculously long
no
what now?
builders front line.
Oh, your front line is heavy. Okay.
Yeah. And I guess I don't really know how to get rid of that, or do I just not worry about it at this point and just, because I mean, there wasn't a structure.
So
Yeah.
we created. You
Okay.
can create it. Yeah. That's what I said. There's life after placement. So doTERRA has an exception request process. And you can go in and create the structure that you need.
Okay.
So those people on your front line, you can strategically move them, and you submit a request. It requires 7 levels of approvals, which most people will give you because you're trying to grow your business, right? You just want to make, but this is the structure that you're after. And you may just have to build it out gradually.
Okay.
It's not too late.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, how did you explain OV versus TV from Galaxy S23? Good question. I'm glad you asked it because it's, well, how do I get back there? Oh, guys, I don't know how to get back there. Okay, here we go. Very good question. You would not believe how many people leave money on the table, which is my pet peeve. Money being left on the table because they don't understand this. And I tell you, it is a little bit confusing. Like, we probably should change some of these acronyms. PV is your personal volume. That is any orders placed on your personal account. Okay. Then we go down to TV. That is team volume, not to be confused with total volume. That is team volume. That is you and everybody on your front line. The volume that comes in from your account and everybody on your front line. Customers, builders, affiliates, it don't matter. Customer, like retail customers, all of that volume contributes to your TV, your team volume. And then OV is going to be your organizational volume. That's what happens completely throughout your organization, including your own account and anything underneath you. All of it, no matter how deep it goes. That's the organizational volume. Okay, so we go PV, TV, OV. Was that helpful, Galaxy? S23 Ultra? Yes. Okay. Take a picture of this. Put it up somewhere. When you're it's broken down now a little bit differently in the back office, which I think is helpful. So you can kind of see all 3 of these. But that TV will mess you up on your Power 3 if you're not paying attention to it. Even with the new back office, it can be a little bit confusing because it doesn't check it off. I think it can check that off, but. Anybody else? We got 5 minutes.
Are you able to do the Harry Potter account?
Let us see. Let me see. What did I have?
Danny, while you're doing that, I just want to say thank you for doing this because it was, even for me, very helpful and a good reminder of the tools we have to use. And I love how you talked about, realistically builders come and go, but like, I feel like what you're really emphasizing there is the decision. Like, you wholeheartedly make the decision to do this business. And so you make it happen and keep
Mhm.
pushing forward. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think like I say this to my team all the time. Builders come and builders go, but diamonds are forever. So if you can really show somebody how to reach diamond level income, they ain't going nowhere. If they're let me say it like this. If they are maintaining a diamond level organization, you're not really walking away from that. You know what I'm saying? People will walk away from gold, platinum even, but diamond, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. All right, I'm gonna try to get into Harry Potter. Let's see what happens here. Can it go for me? Okay, I gotta stop the share. Is there something specific you want to see, Monetta? And then I can.
No, it's just that I'm a visual learner and I'm sure there are others on the call and I thought it would be good for them to see.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Let me see if I can do it. Stop. You guys, I promise I'm not 85, but sometimes when here we go. Is it Harry or is it me? And this Harry Potter account, guys, is available to anybody when you're explaining, showing people back office and things like that. You can log into his account and play around. Okay, this is me. And I'm not ready to look at my back office yet. I'm not ready. Okay. Any other questions while we wait for the website to do its thing?
I don't have this is Ilona. Hi. I don't have a question. I just want to thank you for doing this presentation. I often forget about the different ways to make money, but this was a really good refresher course. It's
good
to go through.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Getting back to the power of three, for team volume, that goes with ranking. Did I understand that correctly? The amount that your front line makes determines toward your ranking up.
Okay. I'm hearing two questions. So are you asking team volume as it relates to power of three?
Yes.
So remember when you're trying to hit your $50 power of three, you've got to get those, so you have to check those three boxes. You have to place an order, 100 PV, at least 3 people underneath you have to place at least a 100 PV order. And all together, you and everyone on your front line, the volume there must exceed 600 PV, must be at least 600 PV or more.
Okay, I understood that.
Okay.
But it goes back to your front line. In ranking, it's what your front line has.
No, in power of three, it is your team volume is based on you and your front line. Yes. When it comes to rank, no, it's not, no.
All right.
You want to give me an example of, I feel like maybe there's something behind that question.
Yes. I'm an elite.
Okay.
And I'm going for my next level. This is what I'm working on.
Premier. Got it.
And so my front line.
Yes.
My front line has to have Mm, I'm not really.
So it's
I'm gonna have to have one director, one executive, no, two executives, one director with 100 PV, two executives with 200 PV.
so
Sorry, 2,000.
yes, in order for you to be a premier, your entire organizational volume has to be at least 5,000. And then two people, two legs, because it can be your front line, but it can also be lower in your organization. But you have to have two legs, two people and two separate legs that are executive.
Okay.
Is that,
All right.
is that,
I'm understanding. I'm understanding.
okay, good. Because
Thank you.
I did say your front line, but it doesn't have to be your front line. It's easier if it's your front line, but sometimes your front line people ghost you or they don't want to do it or whatever. So you can go down and find a leader down deep in your organization or a level or two down that can qualify you for rank. So in order for you to hit a rank, you have to have qualifiers, people underneath you in separate legs that hit the rank that qualifies you for the next rank.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Some of the questions I feel like you guys may have, it's helpful to like have somebody sit down and look at your back office with you and give you another perspective. So if you have an upline that's willing to do that, or reach out to corporate and see if someone can just sit down with you. I think that's really the best way to like figure out your plan. Okay, so here we are in Harry Potter's account. If you haven't done this part and Power of Three is on your radar, I just really want to recommend that you go and do this. You can build this out to see what your holes are. So if you look at this, you can see that Harry Potter has gotten his $50 Power of Three because his order was over. He placed a 100 PV LRP. These three people did. And the TV, the team volume is over 600. So he's good to go. Now let's take it down to his 250. So you see how they can actually let you bring in your team members to see if you have enough volume to qualify for that rank. And it lets you see what you're missing as well. And if you want to add someone, you just click on the little add button and then look, Molly has placed a 150 PV. Harry Potter's 250 is all checked. All those boxes are checked. All those boxes are checked. That means he's gotten his 250. Now let's look at his 1500. This part, sometimes people are afraid to do this, but like go ahead and do it. See how far you are from it. See how far. So what you would do is let's say you've got your top three, your next 9 are all in place, and now you're ready to like add your customers down here, right? So you just go down here and add a team member and see what options you have. He's got no options here. It's okay. That, my friend, is what we call a hole. Let's look under Albus and see, does he have any customers? Got no options here. We got another opportunity to fill, right? Draco has one person. Let's see if he has any more. Got nobody here. This is so clear. So when Harry Potter and Draco go and have a class, they know exactly where to place their people. You see how that works? Know your goals, know your holes. So I say go in, if you're looking for your $1,500 Power 3, go in and set this up. Look and see, okay, I got some holes. I know where I got to work. I need to bring some customers, some builders, et cetera, in. And then, before your month end, go back to the rank that or to the Power 3 bonus that you actually qualify for. Because if you keep it at 1,500, it'll confuse you. So go back and just make sure you're good for that rank, for that level. Okay. Helpful? Clear as mud? All right, guys, we will post the replay. Oh, am I missing comments? think you can read info. Can you share the link for the recording? Yes, we'll put the link for the recording as well as the slides in the Black Diamonds Facebook group. So you can go and grab that, rewatch it. If you have questions, let us know. All right?
Can I
So-
ask a question before we leave?
Yeah.
Dealing with the let me see, what am I asking? Platinum.
Platinum, you said?
With platinum.
Okay.
Okay, when you hit your platinum, well, when you know you're getting ready to hit your platinum, I'm gonna state it like that.
Okay.
And you have to have 2 people that are executives.
Are you
So
mean
if-
Premier? Do you mean Premier or Platinum?
Oh, you know what? Premier, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Premier, thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you have to have 2 people that are executive. Do those 2 people have to be enrolled by you in order to hit that premier? Or
Very good question.
or
Yes.
can one be enrolled by you and the other one's by someone else? Or how does that work?
They must both be enrolled by you.
Great answer.
Yes.
But I thought I had to throw that out because it happened to me, and I was gifted someone,
Mhm.
but that's when we had business advancement,
Mhm.
and I was told wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah, and something didn't happen where my person was gifted to me, and I didn't hit my premiere, and I almost cried, but I knew people that knew what I was doing and where I was going with this, and they said, "Oh, Lorraine, we're so sorry," so they changed it.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
my very next statement. You know who's your upline? Go up. And let me tell y'all something right now. I don't take no for an answer, especially if corporate has told me something incorrect when I first started. Business advancement will tell me wrong stuff all the time. So I was getting everything in writing. Even if I called on the phone, I'd be like, please follow this up with an email stating exactly what you just said. Okay.
That's
So
so true. I had it in writing, and that's how they found out I was
Yeah.
telling the truth by that. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So yes, these people do need to be personally enrolled by you. So if you're building, if you've built your organization, that's typically not an issue until you kind of get a little bit lower and you're trying to rise a little higher in rank, and then you kind of have to give some people over. So, but yeah, good call out.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, party people. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna stop the recording. Thanks for all that are watching the recording. I will stick around for a few more minutes if anybody